Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Nut. This is Gold Mason. I'm joined by four paragons of the NU community. We got less than 3-man, Shingineer, Brick, and Bernardo. How you guys doing?
Yo.
Doing well, man. Glad to be
What's
here.
up, guys? Glad to be here again.
Yeah, we're back for NU Champions League 3. I'm going to go over some of the auction bits, talk about the drafts, talk about the players a little bit, and then get ready for week 1 coverage. Just a little prelude for the fans. Shout out Bughouse. I know he watches every episode, so this is for you, Bughouse. But
Beautiful friendship.
Yes, Bughouse is one of my best friends. He's a close friend. But
y'all get along so good now.
Yeah, absolutely. But we got a less than 3-man superb graphic on the screen. You guys will see it. It's this logo is fire, man. You've outdone yourself yet again.
Thank you.
Yeah. But what draft do we want to dive into first, guys? Like, there's 8 of them, so
I figure we can go by draft order. Would that be the Dittos first?
The Dittos first, alright. We got the Limber Ditto Lovers, managed by the 2 eternal pain in my ass schedulers, Danny and Pokeslice. They drafted an interesting team. Danny self-bought. They brought back Superstar Toxin Boost. Gonna play RBY almost certainly every time that they select it. But just a quick refresher for everybody in the chat. NUCL is unlike NUPL. It's got flex options. You got 2 SV slots a week, and then you get to choose 4 slots between RBY through SS. So there is manager selection, a little bit of a strategy, and I'm sure that the 2 managers in the chat will talk a lot about their own once we get to the matchups. But speaking of my best friend Bughouse, he got purchased for 18. That's an underpay. That looks like an underpay to me. Bughouse for 18K.
Yeah. I could have outbid them a little further, but I wanted to save my money, so.
Yeah, I expected higher.
I'd say he's around like reality. I'd say between like anything between 16 and 20 would be kind of fair for him. RF 13, like those kind of super flex guys, they cost around that.
I think one thing we're going to see kind of across the board here is prices seemed really low this draft. And I'm not really even sure why. Like a lot of the top players went for lower than I thought they would, which Bug, of course, is a great player in multiple gens, but having teamed with him before, he's like, oh, I'm not going to be active this tour, and then he builds for like 4 slots. It's like everywhere.
Yo, price fix alert.
Oh, Danny, we're calling you out. Price fixing.
No, I have to call out Bernardo for that later. We'll get there.
Oh boy,
We'll get there.
A little bit of foreshadowing. Got it.
It beats Black for 15-5. I wanted this guy on my team, but they just kept bidding, man. I wasn't ready to match that. But
in theory, he's the best DPP on the pool.
Theory. A lot of our DPP mainstays aren't playing this tour, and so like he ends up rising to the top, and he's basically what you want in a manner. He builds a lot.
Please,
quite good at building and clicking.
Please tell me Vivalos Pride signed up, please.
He did not.
We're ending the recording. Fuck this.
We lost our replays.
Fuck?
We lost our replays.
My man, Vivalos Pride. No.
It's alright. We stand beats Black now.
We're missing Drud and Ninja too.
Oh my god.
Ninja's managing
like,
but not self-buy. True.
Oh, Ninja didn't self-buy, you're right.
He didn't self-buy, which I think is a little dumb, but...
Whoa. Call out this quickly? Wow. But
it's okay.
Some other interesting looking players. We got Please No Step for 10. I think that's a reasonable purchase. And then Jensen Dale. I really like this guy. As far as like a team presence. And just like a general stand-up awesome guy. I love this guy. He's just one of my favorite people to interact with on the website right now.
He's basically the Gold Mason of GSC.
Oh.
Yeah, he's doing his own invitationals and stuff.
Yeah,
and
he is.
builds a lot.
Yeah.
I wanna do a shout out to Oathkeeper that usually I'm criticism of his self buys, but like at 6.5 he adds a lot of value to any team. I said to Kingler, man, Oath by that price is already worth just by his builder, and I think like he can literally flex on every single old-gen, so I think he would end up like being a positive surprise. Like the last 3 Oath Keeper was a blast to follow while it lasted, but it was very nice, and I think he has a good chance to repeat being used like as an answer to most other teams.
Him and Bughouse together again.
Him and Bughouse together again. You're right.
Eternal.
He could not. Yeah, he could not
Bughouse
escape.
Bughouse commented on like commencement trend like, I'm free. No, he's not free from Oath. He's never free from Oath.
Not free.
But yeah, rounding out the roster, we got, some nice picks up in Devon, Saru and Quinn, kind of Tor mainers, probably can fill in or, sub in when needed. LB is kind of an up-and-coming player as well. I don't think I need to introduce Mata either, so this looks like a nice, well-rounded lineup. Maybe a little outside of Bughouse and Beats, like kind of lacking on star power.
Yeah, I think Tuther is one of the better SV players. I mean, despite his shaky SCL appearance, he's still like top of the tier SV caliber as far as what we can see. I think 10k is a massive steal.
Yeah, Danny Tuther's very strong SV.
Yeah,
I do want to say too, MIPC for that cheap. He is in the grand finals of seasonal right now. Although his builder's a bit, I don't know. He only plays balance. I don't know about the versatility there, but he's in grand finals of seasonal.
We could talk about balance players later as well.
Yeah, good boy.
I think like entering on the conversation, MIPC and Noah as well, that is lower in that draft. Lazim Freeman actually reminded us about like the Rising Star Invitational. That was an initiative made by Django and Slice, but mostly Django, to promote like new talent on the tier. And I think it's entering like the final stage, and a lot of talents that were showcased at the tour end up getting some kind of chance in a team. I think basically every single team, I'd say, except maybe the Pablos and the Glastriers that are like more tour-centered teams, end up getting those guys. And of course, not everyone was able to be selected, but most of them will have a chance to not only prove themselves, but to take part of the tour like that. That's something that I think adds a lot of experience, a lot of like opportunity. And we have one of the very best in our table that he will probably talk later about it.
So I'm really happy that... Go ahead.
One of those guys in the Rising Stars is pretty good. I'm a big fan.
Very true. I was going to say I'm very happy that our Rising Star Django has finally got a chance to play as well. Really excited to see some stuff out of him.
See him get established. Him and Eternal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Django's a very new talent.
All right. Enough trolling. We're gonna hop over to the fossils next, because alphabetical order. This is managed by an extremely bad faith manager known as Kingler, and then some guy named BE13 Costa. Why don't you tell us, Bernardo, about your draft just a little bit? Give us a little insight.
I think like our main targets were accomplished. Diamonds was one of them. Cal was another. Hammer was on our prior list of RBYs. A lot of names end up being like kind of, okay, here's a deal opportunity. Let's make them, like getting Jizo for 9.5, Aladdin for 13.50. Ruffles was someone that I generally hate him as the best Horus player in the pool, especially if like he's in a good mood. He's on a tier like he will destroy the pool probably, maybe except Watashi. He wasn't initially in my plans because I thought I won't have the money for that, and suddenly he ended up slipping to my hands, and I'm super happy for that. The team ended up being like a combination of guys that mostly I trust and guys that Kingler has a very high opinion on their gameplay, like Taka, like Snaga, are guys that are like proven. And then we have like our gens basically being lead by B, because like B suggested Hammer, B suggested Spice, and he made sure that we had like good old gens. That's something that it's in this tour specifically very important.
Also one of those two players, so darn you.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say that it ended up being like very obvious on the draft is that I tried to fight for every single SS guy and I lost all of them. So we end up having a clicker on the slot, but I don't really fear about it. Like I put Snaga, I put Taka there, I put like whoever I went like okay, like well whoever, like SCL level guys, SPL level guys, so they will perform, you know? No need to worry about it. But
Diamonds can always take a turn there as well.
Yeah,
But, you probably want them in SV, but
yeah, no, like SV it's very nice because we have diamonds, we have Kingler, but like we can simply slot Shadow. That's one of those rising stars, but it's probably the best of them all. Like it's the most established one, so even that it's somewhat under control, you know. But in the end, I don't know. I feel like it's a very very balanced team. It's a team that it's strange because I feel it doesn't put me ahead in every single week, but at the same time I'm not behind in every single week, you know. Every single week it's very balanced, very 50-50 matchups. It's not like I have a super good matchup here and a terrible matchup there. It's more like every single matchup will be like very disputed. But I'm happy. It's a new form of team as well. It has a lot of Kingler's input on that, and to me that's something new. That's not usually something I'm used to when I'm managing stuff, but I'm happy with that.
Yeah, he's used to his co-manager just slacking on the job when he gets to pick everything.
Like I said prior to that, usually my co-manager is occupied winning games, so how can I blame him for that?
So before we move on, I want to get to the slight controversy here. I like to pick up my friend
controversy, huh?
So you notice the B or something retain. Now last NUCL we had blockouts, and B of course is known as a GSC player, one of the best for sure. He blocked out of GSC last year, so he was artificially cheaper on the retain this year. Because he was cheaper last year because he blocked out, and of course there's no blockouts this time. But it's not like too bad.
Well,
I think especially considering like the price that both Soup and Mr. Rosa went, like okay, it probably went at like a slight advantage. Probably B at GSC, if I like had normal prices, would be around like 12k, maybe 13k. That was a 3k save. But if we're gonna talk about like absurds of retainings and stuff, we will get there with the Pablos. But well, until there,
for sure,
I will keep quiet.
That being said, like Bernardo didn't set any of that up. He just like it happened upon him, and who wouldn't take that, you know?
Yeah,
it was literally my only saving grace. The other guys on my team, like Nunes, literally retired from Mons, my best player. So what could I do? It was my only option.
The retain pool
And
was
that was,
also
like, the best one,
rolled
but, like,
into your hand. Like I rolled the pool, but I will say that the only two people that complained to me didn't do it in manager chat because one of them wasn't a manager. One was Rabia, who was like, "This is stupid, but we shouldn't change it," and then the other was Big Fat Mantis, who was like, "This is the stupidest thing ever, and if I was a manager, I would raise a fuss, but instead I'm gonna laugh at it in your DMs." So. I don't think people really cared. I don't think anybody really cared enough to say.
Not like a major advantage. It's just a minor one, which is like it's not going to break the game. So
yeah,
it's
but
fine.
I just like to have the lore and to give Bernardo time. It's not that big a deal to me either.
If I had a bad faith opportunity, especially on CL, I would take PL. I'm a good guy, but on CL, it's bad Bernardo.
No, that was your. If this is the worst bad faith you showed this tour, I think we'll all be fine.
Yep.
But I know
I think
it's
we're gonna
not.
see more.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see more.
My bingo card.
All right. Well, hopping into
Already?
the
Just
next
don't give me
team,
the opportunity.
you know what? I don't see any scheduling terrorists on your team, so maybe we'll be fine. Yeah, I don't see any. Oh wait, never mind. I found one. One Last Kiss. That's a scheduling terrorist. So maybe rein that part in. But we'll be fine. All right, hopping into the next team, we got the Furious Fujins, managed by we mentioned it earlier, Ninja, who did not self-buy, and then Ex-Guardian. Interesting team. A lot of star power, I think. Really high end. And then with the Finchinator retain, and then we got Sterile, Mr. Soup, Dr. PhD Blowjob. That's a really nice high end there. And then some really, in my opinion, steals in the bottom end as well. Mielke is somebody who I consider a really high-end ADV player, and has been having some rough tours, but has a lot of motivation right now. So with SPL coming up, so I think we're going to see some good stuff out of him.
Yeah. I think Havoc Knight's a good value there at 5K.
Yeah.
It's a good solid pick.
Oh, wait, Expulso's playing this tour?
Yeah, mostly DPP from what I know. To be fair, like, the Fujins, to me, it's surprisingly possibly the best team on the tour, like, on names, on paper. Because they have, like, Storio, they had Soup, which are two, like, probably the best on their pools. They have BJ, which is, like, an SCL caliber player, like it or not, like, he's good, very good. We have Ziri that it's, like, year in, winner out, like, a great player. I think, like, it's a matter of, like, locating him on the right tier. They have both Metallica and Clem, two of those who were finalists at SMCL. So SM, it's probably one of the best hands on any team as well. And even guys that are like Plague, Havoc Knight, which are more like tour guys, not necessarily like famous for their NU heroics, they're very good players. So, and they have like liar support and all. Like, I can keep going. Like, it's a team that name by name, it's very scary.
And a lot of their lower cost
picks
are also. Yeah, a lot of their lower cost picks are also just good clickers. Like Larry, like you said, Mielke, pretty good in ADV. So like, I think they're very possibly the strongest team on paper.
I think their biggest like weakness are like probably RBY, because I think it's Stunner, which from what I took from Philip, it's good. Like, he can hold himself, but like the chance of him winning versus some Marys or some Toxin, it's rather low. So probably they're kind of the biggest weakness. And ADV, I don't know who is playing for the team. It's Mielke probably, which he can ball.
I'm a big Mielke fan. I'm a big Mielke fan. He builds his own stuff as well, and he's like a prolific, strong builder. I think he'll be fine.
I betted him on a PTPL, and like, he's a very nice guy. He enjoys mons, but he has one of the biggest like weakness to me as a manager. He loves a Monday gaming. Man, I fucking hate that. I don't think we won a single one on the tour. And when I saw like Elodin was gonna to be like first bloody on the tour, I'm like, oh fuck, we are screwed. I never win first games, but that's part of life.
Oh, so you're saying you cursed him? Got it, man.
No, I am cursed. It's different from that.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, functionally the same thing. But yeah, no, this lineup, I agree. I haven't seen the rest of the lineups. I'm a bad host. I straight up was not around for the auction. Mary carried me. But I haven't seen the rest of the teams, but this one looks like the strongest to me so far. We'll see how it goes. But exciting stuff. Looking forward to it. Also, should note the Brazilian theme. I see at least three drafted, and then obviously the two captains. So,
Yeah, there are four. Cartulo is Brazilian.
Cartulo too? Yeah. There's Plague,
Cartulo is
Seraph,
this
Mielke,
cult god.
Cartulo, yeah. So yeah, There's definitely some strong nationality synergy as well. So let's hop into the next lineup. We got the Glacial Glastriers, managed by newly unbanned Tear Acid and FC. And they decided to spend big, self-buying both, as well as retaining Violet River for, I believe, 10k, right? Or like somewhere around 10k.
Yeah, it was cheap. It was a 10k retain.
Very cheap, and then immediately bought Shiloh. So lots of big star power for this team as well.
Overbay.
Yeah. We got Big Fat Mantis for 7.5. That seems like a little bit of a steal.
It's a good deal, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. M Forbes for 8.5 with Shiloh. That's a team up for sure. And then we got Helm, Void, and Amaranth as the other top slots. That's a strong core in my opinion. Doesn't seem like they have a lot of low end.
Also not sure what their plan for SV is. I mean, I guess is it Tyr is gonna play it? I don't know how much knowledge he has. I don't know who like. I look at all those names and I don't know if any of them are caught up with the SV meta, except maybe Shiloh, because like he managed me and helped me build a bit. So I don't know. We'll see how quickly they adjust to that.
I mean, the big thing, right, is that they have clickers, right? Like they can put M Forbes in SV and just like say click. The real question is if they have a builder that's good enough to make something for M Forbes to click with.
Yeah, we don't want to see any like Boots Scyther, Meloetta, McNegan-ass teams in NUCL, folks.
Ooh, shots fired.
Shots fired, damn.
No, but my take with that team it's very similar to like the Arcanine is on last PL and so many other teams with that much star power, like accomplished names. It's like, of course, at some degree, every single team cares about those tours and everyone wanna win. But at some point, when you need to make like choices about like, okay, I need to prep for like Engineer, I need to prep versus Danny, and especially if stuff don't necessarily go well early, that's the kind of team that can implode, you know. So that's my only like watch list about that team, you know, like keep an eye, because it's a team that either can perform super well and like go super deep, like last PL, a team on like that nature one with Mind, with Hoenn, but a lot of those like super talented and like accomplished guys, and they can win it all because they have the experience and the ability. But at the same time, if stuff doesn't really go well, they can simply like, okay, let's focus on something else, and start to not really give all their best. So I don't know, it's a strange team on that sense to me.
I will say really fast that there's a lot of like really strong synergies on this team. Helm and Lost Memories are really good friends, and they usually bounce ideas off of each other really well. For example, Lost Memories was like pivotal to Helm's prep in a couple tours that I've teamed with Helm on. And then Mr. Soup mentioned that Rahel and Big Fat Mantis worked together in their winning GSCPL, which I think they won twice or 3 times in a row, right? So like,
yeah,
they've got a lot of like really strong interpersonal synergy. I usually feel like that translates to at the very least a fun tour, if not a strong tour. Again with the Shiloh and Forbes. So like, I feel like there's a lot of and like they have strong enough old gens, right? Like they have, again, Big Fat Mantis and Violet River, who I think and Amaranth, who we all consider, I think, pretty strong RBY GSC ADD. Definitely not the bottom of the PRs, if not the top. So they've got it locked down in there, and honestly, whoever they end up playing in SV, it can't be worse than bum-ass Kingler, am I right?
I think like for week 1, we will see what they're going with.
No reaction from Bernardo for that, man.
I know. I thought.
What are you gonna say? Like, my co-manager is starting, and he's literally a season champion. He won like ladder to like your like diminishing words won't take effect on his title.
True.
So why do I need to defend him?
I met up with Kingler IRL actually twice at the Milwaukee and the Philadelphia regionals for VGC. and he's one of the coolest guys I've ever met. I just wanted to, you know, snipe at him a little bit, but he's definitely cool. He's very strong. His knowledge of the game is incredible. So, but yeah, no,
like he's very nice, to be honest. Like,
yep.
When I asked him to co-manage, it was like I never talked with you like much more than like the bare minimum, but I really want to work with you, and I'm very glad for that.
Absolutely. But yeah, I have high hopes for this lineup, and we'll see how this goes. But let's hop into the next one. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is the Krusty Krabs.
Yeah, it's a draft.
Hey, I don't like the sound of those reactions.
It was more
a strange draft.
It was
it's
more
very
we had
Kyo-like, I'd say.
We had like very light colors, and then suddenly it was a giant kingler in my face, you know.
No, I never said I disagreed with your reaction.
Voted best team name by the NU room.
Oh, this was the best team name? Damn.
Yes, and the official, unofficial room poll.
Gotcha. Well, we got Kyo coming back with the Krusty Krabs, replacing the Gyotted Gyarados or whatever the fuck they were called last year.
Gulagoon Gyarados, I think.
Oh, Gulagoon Gyarados, you're right. He's all about the SpongeBob up in here.
Yeah.
But Kyo comes back, solo manager, the only solo manager in the pool, and he self-bought, so he obviously is very confident going into the draft. What do we think about this draft? I mean, there are definitely a lot of names that I recognize. Obviously, OBB being the first and foremost among them. But I mean, like, yeah. Actually, I don't not recognize a single one of these names except Honchkrow. I've never heard that one before, but...
That's I Play Tennis, lol, from back in the day. Gotcha. Super ancient, been gone for years, but he was a big name when Orange was current gen. But he's been retired for like 6 years or something.
Gotcha. So a lot of household names, but like, I don't know if we would necessarily classify all of these as star power. Top of the lineup is Oranberry Blissey, which obviously one of the best NU players, but then we got Estarossa and Kaboom as the other high ends. I rate all three of those players, so. Any opinions on this lineup?
One thing to note here is the SV is very much up and comer. We got our boy Brick and Matthew are starting this week, right?
Yeah, I'm one, he's two. It's definitely been a challenge, as me and him are both rookies, obviously. But and in terms of the entire lineup, really the support has just been me and him bouncing ideas off each other, and other people jumping in every once in a while, giving their 2 cents. But
yeah,
it's very old gens focused here. I've been largely not on my own, obviously my teammates are helping me, but there's been much more focus on the old gens because that's just what people are more experienced in and more focused on.
I'm surprised that Oranberry Blissey and Kaboom don't have like a builder or something to at least drop for you guys. But
OBV's he's been focused on his games, but he's been helping us a bit. Not as much. He hasn't dropped his builder because I don't think he's really played SV much since he beat me in ladder tour. But he's been helping as much as he can.
Gotcha.
We'll figure it out.
I mean, as far as old gens, you guys do have a strong lineup. I mean, you have Estarossa, who Mr. Soup actually rated near the top for the GSC PRs, and I think some other people rated Keshba pretty highly in the same regard. You got Fiend, who can flex into literally anything and click his way through. Decent lineup. I like it. I rate it.
Yeah.
I think the pick of Finn and Zero Wings, it's like an insanely valuable duo. Like between those two here, they can flex on basically every single tier, and they can perform like, I'd say very above average in every single turn. Like, you can expect at least a 7 out of 10 in any performance of those two. And were for sure two players that were on my radar.
Is
I think like
TJ?
it's very strange because Kyo kind of found a lot of value on like very cheap picks, and like they're like, his most expensive ones, like other than OBB. But even OBB, like last season, he was like good, but not like insanely amazing. They were like, okay, good, solid picks. You can even argue a little bit overpaid. I'd say especially on Kaboom, because ADV usually you can find like good players for cheaper, like the case of Meowth for 3. But he made like a very good decision on like how to spend like his money on the cheaper picks with Henchcrow, with TJ, for instance. Like having TJ at 3K, it's like what?
It's 4.5.
Okay,
it's 4.5, but still,
it doesn't really care. Like you have TJ for that.
TJ for sub 5.
Put a team on his hand and like he will perform.
Yep.
He's the Jote.
That's
what it stands for.
The T-Jote. Yep. All right. Well, we are going to take a small break from this to watch. I believe Bricknermon submitted something for the draft. We're going to watch that video now.
Needed to convince the people to give me a chance, you know.
And they did. They did give you a chance. 7.5K worth of a chance. That's. You got a lot of expectations on you, but here is that video. Clidio.com.
Very impressive.
It's better than mine.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Thanks, man.
He wasn't that cheap, like 7.5.
Yeah,
It's
7.5.
money.
I was expecting a 3K, but
Yeah, not after a video like this, man.
I'll take the ego boost.
Excellent. All right, we're gonna move on to the next lineup. Here we go. We got the Pablo-Chiens, managed by Watashi and Gary Oak, and they did win the role, so they got to retain the Wising Ties, which gave them a pretty insane retain in lax at I think 14.5K. So
I don't know. I think Stereal was like a knockout of the park retain, and they just said, "Nah, we won't lax."
but it's lax.
And lax is good.
It's
yeah.
lax and Watashi, dog.
How good can he
You
be?
are
He just
under-
lost a turret dog, bro. Come on.
Dog,
You are
it's
undervaluing
lax plus
man.
Watashi.
Lex
Called
is
out.
insane good at Mons Engineer. Like Lex, it's probably one of the best players that you ever played against. No jokes.
Lax is
Then how come
great.
I don't remember him, huh?
Man,
I'm
this
just
guy
joking.
goes 8-1 in an NUCL, and suddenly his britches are
Hey,
on.
SCL, brother. SCL.
SCL, whatever, same thing. Man goes 8-1 in an official team tour, and suddenly he's like, who? Yeah,
This
right.
is my
man.
ego arc.
Well, I still think the Watashi and Gary Oak self buys fantastic. They got
Agreed.
lax for cheap, which they wanted, they for sure wanted anyways. And then they immediately picked up 3 of their close friends and honestly really good players in Real FV13, Ima, and TKO. Ima is probably going to be playing ADV if I had to guess, but Real FV13 can literally play anything.
The real.
Yeah, so they've already got a really strong core. They ended up picking up some other pretty well-known names. Looking at like Blazing Dark, Gondra, Akron, ACR1, whatever you want to call him. Sadistic Narwhal for 13K as an RBY is probably pretty good. And then they picked up some newer names, probably because they spent 50K before the auction and then spent, $1 billion on the top slots. So they picked up some newer talent, Magialis, They Call Me Phil, Tashi Melonhead, and Flampoke. But I think Flampoke just went like 5-1 in SCL, so like pretty solid pickups, I think. This lineup looks awesome, to me at least.
I will leave here my uncontent commentary about the hosts that give fucking lags for those two. But that's not my job. I'm just a humble manager.
Brother, it was a roll of the dice.
Man, your job as a host, it's not to make the tour fair, it's to make the tour good.
Yes. And I think that
so
this was
you
good.
steal on those, and you fucking give the flagons be flagons to those two, and make them work with like either Violet River or nothing. But okay, that's not how
That's not how retains work, dog. You need to go to host school.
Bad faith. You do the right, not the correct.
This man is full of bad faith right now. I can feel it in my bones.
Yeah.
Never want to start fixing tours.
Yeah, this fucking guy.
But about the TKO buy, it's the most fun one because I was like with Kingler, and he was, man, we need to empty their pockets, and I'm like, trust me, pick one of those of like his guys, and they will fall for the bait. So we went for Snaga, and we got him. At the point, what I should have said by Snaga, and Kingler was no, but Kingler was very happy for that. And at the point later in the draft, I'm like, go TKO. He will simply like bid for that infinitely, and we're just like bidding him for like just because we knew that Potash would pay for that, because like otherwise TKO would go for 3 and we're like, okay, bid more. Only at a point like, okay, now it's starting to get dangerously close that we will get him as well. That wouldn't be bad, but wasn't the plan, so we stopped there.
Gotcha.
But yes, that was targeted. But I think that I agree with you, like that team it's insane. Just by having Garayok and Watashi, literally if you pair those two with a turn, it's the 3 best NU players of all time. So you have 2 of those on the same team.
I mean, I just don't see a weakness in this roster. Like, they have some up and coming talent that can fill in on the low slots, and then they have like ridiculous star power at the high end. Like, what more can you ask for? I don't know.
I don't know who GSC of this team, actually.
FE.
That's my only doubt.
FE is good GSC.
They
But
have
FE.
They just
the thing
don't.
about
They
FE,
don't
can only
pick
play 1
GSC.
slot per week, you know?
Yeah, but then you black white at the same time, and then
You have
FE can
Gondra.
like double.
You have Gondra. Gondra's
Gondra
good
good
at BW. Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't know half
Or-
these players, so
or just
you gotta
like-
inform me.
Or just like put literally ACR1 or TKO in the slot and say whatever. Like, the ridiculous part of this roster is just how, first of all, flexible they can be while also picking their slot every week. Like, Watashi and Gareo can pick whatever slot they want every week and probably dominate in it. Like, I won't call it 2 guaranteed wins a week, but like, it is definitely 2 very uphill battles a week that you have to do to fight this roster.
It's more than 60% chance of like either of them win. So yes, you're almost right on that.
Yeah. Same with real
I
FB,
agree.
honestly. I think you could argue that, you have 3 giant uphill battles every week, unless you're the team with like Bughouse or something like that and you match into FB. Like, you got 3 tough matchups every week that you have to be planning around, and they can just pick whatever
really
tiers they
curious
want.
to see Narwhal playing, because like Narwhal on RBYPL is like 5-0 on BO5s. I'm like, what? That's insane stats. I think like they were one of my front runners. If it wasn't for like the availability of Hammer, like I would say I prefer them over Amaranth right now. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Do we know who they have starting SV this week?
Let me take a look. I had it pulled up. They have
ACR1 and Gondra.
ACR1 and Gondra, yeah.
ACR1 is playing
ACR1.
NU and SEL, so.
BW wasn't picked, so they didn't have to put a V in there, so he went into DSC slot. They do have a slight weakness in that they're probably always going to pick ADV for IMA, and that means if the opponent team picks ADV, they have to put somebody like Blazing Dark in there, or if they get doubled up on RBY,
which isn't half bad. Let's be honest. Like, Blazing Dark is another of those names that it's probably cheaper because of his personality and like his fame as a teammate, but not as a clicker or as a player. Like,
no, he's a good
he's
clicker.
He's an amazing clicker. Like, he's on a pair of those beasts he has around him. Like, the only 3 strange players are Magialis. That guy, he messaged Kingler and he said, "Hey, I am a new upcoming RBY guy, I can help." And suddenly Watashi named him on the next turn, and we're like, what? Either like Watashi was like playing 4D chess with the name, or he simply went support. But it was very fun that worked. Usually doesn't work out.
Magialis, she beat Serpy in RBY Cup, playing OU, and Serpy obviously is one of like the best RBY players of all time. So if they ever end up in a double RBY situation, Magialis is probably going to be the second RBY, and I could see that going pretty well, depending on if Magialis is able to, get some teams and make sure that she's playing well. But yeah, I rate this roster pretty heavily. I just think everybody's a good clicker, and everybody, like, the prices are not ridiculous either, so. This one and the Glacial Glastriers and the Fujins all look really strong. I really like those rosters. I also liked yours, Bernardo, but we'll see how the next few rosters look, because we got 2 left, right? Yeah, 2 left. And let's hop into one of those now. Oh, Jesus. No. Oh, boy. Alright. Cramorabias. Not the Starabias, but the Cramorabias. The winners of last year. Rabia and E-Turn reunited for one more tour. They retained, or self-bought E-Turn, and then retained RBY Superstar Maris Bonnibel and Super Flex Man Big Tony 2014. That's my GOAT. I love that guy.
The Super Flex Man that only plays SV, but
hey, he can flex. He can flex into anything and he will win. They picked up some expensive players. Django for 20k. I'm gonna leave it to you guys whether that is a fair price for Django.
Definitely a choice.
It's definitely a choice.
That's a choice. That's a good definition.
They bought
the chef, the chef Kuchelos. This is the every team tour, or at least most of them, you get a team that is like full of incredibly strong personalities. And I'm looking at this one, and you got Django and Rabia and E-Turn and Neomon and Wadley and Jack.
I'd give Chungler some personality too.
And Chungler and Ishtar.
he do be chungling.
Ishtar can have a lot of personality if she wants to. And Maris? Oh my gosh. This is the personality team, I would say. And those usually either go incredibly well because the personalities end up mixing, or incredibly wrong when there's a lot of clashes. So this is probably going to be a feast or famine team if I had to guess.
I think that team somewhat remembers last year's Starabias. Neomon was on that team, Mary's on that team with Big Tony and Turn and Rabia. Django, I think, fits very well with those guys. And Django, although we kind of scoffed about the 20k, we can't forget that Django is probably one of the best DPPs player in the pool. He can play like every single old gen at a decent level as well. Like, although, like, when I talked to him and he was like, "Hey, I want SV," I understand that, and he was at SCL, and his performance there was like, not amazing. I'd say he was less bad than people made it look like, especially because of the first game, and because how like ported Kush somewhat, and Kush had a lot of success. But Django, for like all the package he brings on, I don't think it's like an absurd price. It becomes expensive when you compare with like the price that people paid for Danny, the price people paid for like Watashi. But by his own, it isn't that absurd. Probably a little bit overpaid, but not much. In the sense of like, hey, it's insane, you know?
Makes sense to me.
I like the team. I think like it's a cheap team, but it has a turn face on that. That's something that I respect a lot. It's a team that if we didn't have like the names of the managers and like the terms of buy, I would definitely think about a turn again. The Cramorabias.
Yep. They've got power. We'll just have to see if they have the consistency.
Yep, and we'll have to see if the personalities end up meshing well. I mean, they got a lot of cool players, a lot of people that I'm excited to watch. Yeah. We'll see if they can translate that into success. But we're gonna hop into the final team of the NUCL auction, and it's
there you go, baby.
It's the Flamigo Amigos, managed by
Shenjanier
and Lucas 13. Well, it's strange, but we're gonna let Shenjanier take it away. Talk about some things that he was thinking when he drafted this team.
So, first of all, we did end up with kind of an army, right? We got a lot of players, the most of any team. This is not a Cubone slarp. This is real strategy here. So. As I guess we'll start from the top. As Bernardo was saying earlier, he was trying to get one of the best like top SS picks, but he just couldn't latch onto one. Partially because I outbid him on Turt Dog. I believe in that guy. I think he's easily top 3, and we might pick SS every week. You know, he builds for himself. He's already won a game this week against Lax, no less. So very proud of him. Think he'll do great. And then the rest of my plan was basically we did a double self-buy, right? Which was kind of a last-minute decision. I knew I was going to self-buy, but the question of whether Lucas was, we're kind of like thinking about that for a couple weeks. I mean, since signups. Eventually, like he said, you know, I think that I'm on par or greater than like most of the SV1 options in this tour, and if we were to just buy one anyways, it might end up costing about the same. So we'll go ahead and self-buy. You know, I think he's at the top of his game. He's got a sound mind in the builder. I think like together we can definitely cook some stuff up, and I think his cooking's. I think he underrates himself on cooking quite a bit too. So I'll stick him in SV every week. I think he definitely has to. He did pretty well in NUPL. When we kind of subbed him in halfway through the season. Ended up going like 4-2 or something. Had a pretty good record. We even put him in tie break, but we couldn't pull through there. So this is a chance at redemption here. The stakes are high, but my hopes are higher. We ended up retaining Hacker for 10k. I mean, this guy just doesn't lose in SM, so we figured that was a no-brainer. And we'll just put him there every week. No question about it. Up next, we got Batty. I mean, pretty good black-white player. That's about it. Our main goal with draft, I would say, was just to kind of hedge our bets and pick up, solid players for each tier. Towards the lower end, we did pick up like more up-and-comer people. Maybe a little less proven, but I see great potential in them. But again, going from the top, Batty and black-white, we got a Bejas for Oras. He says, I'm one of the few people who actually enjoys this tier, so, that's always good. We got Acid. Acid wasn't originally in our plans, but, I mean, when we got him for 7k early in the draft, that was a very happy surprise. Lucas, in particular, was very happy with what he had seen from his builds and his scouts, so, yeah, I said, yeah, let's go for it. So happy to have him on the squad. We got Leah Perry. as kind of our main GSCer. Soup and I guess some others have rated him like on the lower end of the pool, which fair enough. I don't know how well his record has been, but I mean he's been pretty active in GSC NU lately. I think he's still a great clicker as well. And so hopefully with my support in GSC together, we can get a winning record. There is the goal.
He's a champion right now. Like he won the championship last season.
Yeah. Like I think they're probably underrating him. And time will tell. PHB, he's only this high. He was like our last pick, so we just dumped the rest of our money on him. We got him to support RBY and GSC. He just plays those and he'll support them. We got LTTM for 5K. I think that's a steal in terms of his supporting value, both across ORS, DPP,
I agree
and EDV. We might even get him some playtime here soon.
Give him a shot at ORS. I think the boy is like, it's itching for an opportunity to shine. And I think like he would play extremely well at ORS.
We got Rule, one of those rising star players. I've been friends with him for a while now. I even force him to play GSC with me a lot, so who knows where I'll put him. But he's always testing and he clicks really well, so I'm happy to have him. LBN, I'm gonna be honest, he was an impulse buy. I don't really know what he does, but he had DPP on his list, so I'll probably put him there at some point. DD Joe, another good friend of mine. I think will do pretty well in ADV as one of our backups. But just he's a generally nice presence to have on the team, and he's already been like chatting it up.
Forgetting that both him and LBN are SCL level players, like both are SCL.
True. Hubris for 4K I think was a massive steal. Especially talking about how thin the DPP pool looked from draft. I think Hubris is a solid DPP player, and to get him for 4K is even better. Ming, he provides amazing vibes. I'm sure Bernardo can attest. And he's pretty good at clicking too. This guy's good at mons, and he also provides good input while building. DBD got him because he's a clicker. BD, he did really well in NUFL. He had the top record of an ADV there, so I figured I'll give him a shot here in NUCL. He seems to have a good head on his shoulders. He seemed to make pretty good builds, and I hope he'll do well here.
He's in the finals of the ADV NU Open.
Is he now?
ADV Slam as well.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, there's even more proof for you.
Yeah, and he made playoffs as well, so obviously a good clicker.
HXMO, aka Hacks Mamola. He DM'd me on Discord. He says, "Yo, I want to support SS." I'm like, "Cool, we could use some SS support." Done. And then Bud Gallon, perhaps the funniest name of anyone in this draft. Everyone's hyping him up in RBY, and by the time I drafted him, I was like, "Yo, we don't have an RBYer," and like, I checked the people's PRs for RBY, and like everyone was taken, except Bud Gallon. So I'm like, yeah, this guy seems triced. So we got him for 3K, and I have high hopes for him. Over.
Yeah, no. A solid lineup. Really, really fast. Hopping back to Leo Perry, I rate that guy. He's not only one of the nicest people on Smogon, period, and one of the. He's a tough critic, and he obviously like takes prepping and like playing the game really seriously. So I rate him really highly in a tour setting. So I think you'll get a lot of good value out of him. But I gotta talk about your 5K less than 3 man. That's the goat. I love that guy. That guy can play any tier. He wins every game I've ever seen him play. And if he looks like he's gonna lose, I turn it off. Because
you never seen him lose.
Yeah, so I never see him lose. He's the GOAT.
And
then he usually wins those games anyways, so don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
I do love the hacker retain. I will be the first to admit that hacker's my Pookie Bear. I love that guy. I like your lineup. It looks like a lot of people that are going to be incredibly good at keeping like morale up and like just focusing on prep and getting things done. So
team friendship.
Yeah. Friendship.
The same way the Cramorabias, it's like an eternal team. that team it's very engineer team in the sense that it's a lot of like power of friendship and a lot of kind of those values.
I will say
like,
the vibes are immaculate. So
Vibes are good.
Vibes got to be the
you
best in
didn't
that team chat.
sacrifice
Yeah.
like that much on star power to get that. Mostly because you and Lucas carry a lot of star power, but even so, like your chip picks were amazing. Like Mink, Hubris, Dead by Daylight. Like Dead by Daylight's a guy that I played with him. Like eventually he was like on the room, like, "Hey, wanna SV test?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'm down for that." And he would just whip my ass, and I'm like, "Bro, you don't even play the tier." And he just clicks well, and I don't know, man. I feel like your
I
team
think
needs.
you recommended him to me, so that's the real reason I picked him up. And
Yeah,
I recommend him
there's
too.
like
oh, yeah,
yeah.
He's very good.
highly
like-
recommended. So I'm like, sure, let's get him.
Both Leo Perry and Hubris were on my PTPO team, and even though they weren't starters, they were super like available for testing, super available for like, okay, I need to fucking put someone at a PU because I'm losing every single week, and both of them like, okay, I played. You know, they would sacrifice themselves even for tiers they did not like necessarily dominate, just for the good of the team. And again, that fits perfect with like your idea of team, partially my idea of team. That's why we do like we're such a good like managing couple. But I think like
stop.
yeah, I'm gonna get. Anyways, man, I think like the team it's priced for success if you're able to like transform that vibes and prep, basically that. If you're able to transform like that good energy into effort, because it's a team that doesn't have like the hard talent that other teams have, in the sense of like, okay, you just put Garayo on a team randomly and he just outclick everybody and win. It doesn't feel the same way, but it's a team that can for sure like buy the idea of, okay, let's win this shit and work together and win. That's
And hey, we know a thing or
highly.
two about underrated teams.
Yeah, we are good of those.
I have
Never
to.
beat the power
I
of
have to.
friendship.
I have to ask, because obviously our adoring public are gonna ask, what broke up the band? How come Shengineer and Bernardo are not still the Flamigo Amigos? What happened here?
This is Bernardo's idea, so he broke up with me, so he gets to tell the story.
He broke up with you? No.
Yeah.
I broke with Shen. But mostly, I last in UPL, I felt that we were super close to win, but partially of the shortcomings that we had in that tour were mainly because of me, because I wasn't able to properly manage situations like the tiebreak situation. I managed in the finals week in general. I managed in a very emotional way, I'd say, and it ended up like cost me the tour. Like I think for sure we could have won that, especially during the week. And once some tiebreaks came, of course, like the other team lineup was like insanely strong, and it's comprehensible to lose that. But I thought that I end up costing my team the win, and so I wanted to improve. And the only thing that I could think of like how to improve, it's to try new stuff, to try to work with someone who has more experience than myself. Kingler, it's a name that it's on the community forever, and it's an SCL manager. And also I thought, let's try to grab one of those guys to actually learn. One of the other names I invited was Rabia or Return. So I wanted to try to improve, because I really wanted to run back with Shen the next PL. I have that objective to win in a new PL, and preferably with Shen. So I wanted to get to that point the best I can.
Bernardo hit Shen with the "It's not you, it's me."
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Nah, he just wants me to get off my ass and actually manage. So I'm gonna learn how to do that this NUCL. Also, would we like to officially issue an apology to Dougza for losing finals? The fumbling it.
That's tough.
Just half. I think it's partially my fault, partially his fault, partially a lot of people's fault, but mostly mine. I could have done better.
I know. He just can't help but bring it up at every opportunity. So
No,
I wanted to set the record straight.
I really love Douglas. I think he's a very nice guy, but like, what can I do? He lost to Master Chief.
Darn.
Oh well. Well, let's move on. You can't linger on a breakup too long. You gotta move forward, find your new boo or whatever. I don't have a good analogy, but we're hopping into the verses for week 1 and a little bit of predictions. We're not gonna do formal predictions because those take too fucking long, and we're already an hour and change into this fucking recording, and I don't want to be here all night. So, we got the Fujins versus the Glastriers, 2 strong lineups in the first week. We got the Kinglers versus the Bad Faith Fossils. We got the Dittos versus the Cramorabias, and we've got it's so stupid. They call themselves the Pablo-Chiens because it's Pablo-Chiens, but like I thought it was Chien Pablo, which would make so much more sense, but whatever. Versus the Flamigo Steel.
Hey.
I caught it. But anyways, we got these 4 matchups this week. We are joined by the one, the only, the Jensen Dale. How you doing?
Hey, Gold Mason, how are you?
I'm fantastic, but I'm gonna turn your volume up because Jesus Christ, my man.
I apologize.
Don't apologize. You are now at 200%. I can hear you pretty well. All right, we're gonna hop into the first set of matchups. The Fujins versus the Glastriers. One thing to note while you're looking at this is that we've already had some lineup fuckery. Ziri and Shiloh were not able to schedule. Neither were Stariel and Tyr. So Shiloh is now playing Stariel in SS. And I believe we have Havoc Knight versus Chloe in Oros. So bit of a lineup shuffle. I blame Tyr in entirety for all of the strife. Shout out Tyr, you're a hell of a guy. But yeah, so like Shen, I think suggested, the SV star power for the Glacial Glastriers does end up being M-Forbes and Aero B. Not known for building, and nobody on this team really known for SV building, so gonna be a bit of a hurdle to get over here, but obviously if they have some teams, M-Forbes and Aero B, both incredible players, probably especially M-Forbes, my god. So that is an area to look at. We'll see. I know that Plague and BJ obviously are pretty good at SVNU, and they know what they're doing, so they might have a bit of an advantage there. Any other opinions here, Brick?
The Fujins certainly have the SV advantage here. I've seen multiple people in the thread be like, Aero B, not really sure what's going on there. Like, that's a rough slot. And yeah, BJ and Plague, definitely very competent players who have been around the whole time SV's been around, and M-Forbes is a great clicker, but not the building there could get a little questionable.
Absolutely. But yeah, so then in SS we got Star versus Shiloh. I think that's going to be a coin flip for most people. Metallica versus FC. I don't want to get too into all of the matchups, but there are some like incredibly hype ones in this series in particular. I mean, Finchinator versus Hellum is like a high level BWNU.
It's not
match.
Only any Hellum, it's like Hellum with Shiloh builder. It's probably the best Hellum that we can have. It's gonna be very insane to see with versus Flinch.
It's gonna be an impossible. I mean, like if I'm Finchinator, I'm just loading something solid that I really enjoy clicking on, because like you literally have no idea what you're gonna be up against.
Yeah.
But Expulso versus Void is going to be an incredibly interesting matchup because they're both very good DPP clickers, and obviously both just incredibly good at the game, actually. But the big ones for me are the ADV and the GSC slots. Mielke versus Violet River, and Soup versus Big Fat Mantis. Something that I learned recently was that despite Big Fat Mantis mentoring Soup for the entirety of his career or something like that, they never played in Team Tour until GSCPL, and then 1 week later they are playing each other again in Team Tour for GSC in NUCL. So kind of funny. They never played each other in Team Tour, and then in the span of 2 weeks they played each other twice. But that's going to be an incredible matchup, I think. I don't even have the confidence to predict any of these matchups, so I won't be doing that.
It looks close for sure.
First Helm's gonna be awesome.
I think I'm gonna lead the charges, and people will come with me because it's reasonable. But I'd give like the advantage to the Fujins, mostly because of the SV slots. Even though like RBY, I think like brings it back a little. I think like in the rest, because there are like so 50-50. Believing on a 6-4 Fujins, it's very reasonable in the end.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the Fujins take SV 2-0 most likely.
Yeah.
Definitely, they could go either way, but slight to the Fujins here, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. Glastriers can always load terrain, man.
That's true. That's true. There's you know, a 6-4 Fujins and a 6-4 Glacial Glastriers, I think is both reasonable, or a tie. But I don't think that either of these teams is blowing each other out. So
I'll give the edge to the Fujins.
I as well.
all right. Well, we're all giving the edge to the Fujins, but this is going to be an insane set of games, and I'm going to be excited to watch them.
Yep.
A little bit of spoilers, but one of the games that I was excited for just got played and just got posted in the thread, so we're gonna watch that afterwards. Not us, but you know, the people in the call will probably watch it, and we will probably.
Us, but not the video. I understand.
Yes, but we will probably watch it on the week 1 recap next week. So stay tuned. Next, we're gonna hop into the Krusty Krabs versus the Fallarbor Fossils. What are we thinking here? I mean.
So I have a question for Bernardo before we get too into this.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
So why did y'all pick Oras into Keo Ampha? What was the thought process there?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Mostly because I highly hate like Huffles. I think like he can, like I said, like other than Watashi, I don't believe there is anything like it's better than him. Because Kyo it's better than like 99% of people, but Q at the same time like works, is an adult, like he would load Tropios most likely, so I'm not that afraid of Tropios. And Ampha, although he has like a last season that it was very good, it's a player that I'm not particularly super hyped about. Even like from the RU mains, I rate him behind LBN. I hate him behind like Finn and Mink. So it's a player that I respect. I think he has the ability to be a clicker, and he has good results on NU, like much better than myself, for instance. But I think like just putting up a player that enjoys auras on OLK, that it's on a high level, it's more than enough to at least be a competitive and like 50-50 game. Basically that. I'd say like I win with Huffles, and whatever the other slot, I have a 50-50 chance. That's why I chose Auras.
I would give the edge to the Fossils here overall, just looking at every matchup probably.
I think I would too, slightly.
Yeah, same here. The thing that jumps out to me the biggest is just the gens 1 through 4 for me, just because Hammer, I know AM has a good amount of RBI experience, but Hammer supported by Sepice, and that bottom 3 core to me just jumps out in terms of gens 1 and 2. And it makes me really surprised that the Krusty Krabs, great name by the way, decided to flex a GSC slot, because I know Esterosa is extremely good at the game, but the depth on GSC that exists in the Fossils cannot be ignored. Like, you have Zapice, who's been playing in NU team tournaments for the last 8 months or so, since NUFL at the very least, and B or something, who is a staple of the tier, pretty almost like a foundational corner point of the tier, who's been pushing it far. I think at least the bottom 4 slots, because Elodin is extremely good at the game too, is pretty much locked up for the Fossils, just in my opinion.
Well, I will say, Elodin already lost.
I did not see that. I did not see that.
No, like he played super well, to be honest, until the closing moment of the game, where like he made a miscalculation on the speed tier stuff. Honestly, if he have won, I would be like super confident we like almost for sure win it, because I think like that's one of the most like it was on the most 50-50 matchups that we had. On all the others, they're like, I'd say they're more like traded from one side to the other, but they're not necessarily like 50-50 the matchup itself, the games itself. But because like Sir Wings, who was for sure capable of winning, end up winning, I think this week it's dangerous, but I still trust my team. I will always trust my team. So
as you should. It's a great lineup you got. I think I brought it up as well multiple times in the stream.
I will say, just to give a little bit of insight into my matchup, since I'm here. For this being my first ever,
you can like spoil to us what you're gonna use versus that.
I'm bringing combustion webs.
Nice.
Because you are playing with Matthew, it's not something I'm like completely shocked if you brought combustion.
If you want the team, just go look at the Rising Stars thread. Combustion's 1-0.
Undefeated.
But I will say, this being my first ever NUCL game, ever team tour game, I didn't expect to be in SV1. Well, looking at my team, I'm not that surprised. But before the draft, I didn't expect to start at all. But this matchup in particular is giving me hell in the builder. Like, I am just I've thought about a million different, like, he's a wild card. He can bring.
Yeah.
He likes his cheese, which
he can either terrain you, he can stall you. Like, he's the only player that can realistic stall you on NU.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I've had to take it in the builder. I've had to take in everything into account, from obviously the stall angle all the way to HO, terrain, weather, and like everything is in my mind. And trying to account for all of that in NU it's not easy.
It's hard, and still not lose the Chandelier.
He's definitely like the hardest guy to prep against, I would say.
And that being my first ever game with the limited SV support my team has, I honestly, it's kind of alleviated some of the pressure, because I don't think there is a single soul anywhere that thinks I'm actually going to win the game, except for myself. So,
even though I'm your
whoa, I think you're going to win the game. What the fuck?
I don't think you're going to win the game. I don't wish you to win the game, but I think you are extremely competent, and to be honest, if you end up winning, it wouldn't be like a super shocker. It would be like an upset, but nothing that anyone in this like conversation would be, oh my god, Brick 1 versus Diamond, you know?
It's within the realm of possibility.
The Diamond's realm of possibility.
Hey! No, I appreciate that.
What I would have liked to seen is I would have loved to have seen Brick paired with someone with more experience. You know, an SV. I know it's just not an SV focused team, but I think that would help. You know, impress.
And
that would have helped. Right now, we kind of got the. You can go, Bernardo.
Oh no, he was just saying Matthew as well. That's it. That's all he said.
No, I was. Go on.
Brick, what you should do is you should grab somebody who isn't involved in the tour to help you with SV.
See, I tried I messaged my good friend Heatrinator, and
Yoink.
Engineer already snatched him up.
He scooped him up, man.
Okay,
Frame
well,
one.
There is an SVNU circuit player who has not been involved in any team that you could ask. Her name
Could they be
is-
banned?
Her name is Ashley.
Oh no.
Oh, right.
The forbidden name.
Anyways.
what I was gonna say before, with the whole like LTM saying he wishes I was paired with someone more experienced. I agree with that. I would love that, but I think more the me and Matthew pairing is more of a a bit of a fire and ice pairing. I like to say.
He's the fire for sure.
He loses his head every once in a while about when things don't go right for him, which I get it. The game is tilting, but I think the pairing here is good in terms of like I'm gonna be able to keep his head on straight because I think he has the talent in the builder and clicking to be successful. He just needs to have someone to relax him when things aren't going well.
He just needs to lock in, is what you're saying.
Yeah, which no one locks in better than me.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the only advice I would give you about Matthew. It's like keep his builder in check. Like the boy is really like I really believes in his clicking. He's of the new guys. He's one of the best clickers by far. But he simply kills himself on a builder from time to time. He brings something like very stupid, and then you're gonna see like his biggest win streaks are like okay, he has like 80% win rate in the last like 10 games, and you see it's like 6 terrain games. You know, when he doesn't try to like reinvent the wheel, he ends up doing super well. If you're able to help him on like being consistent more than anything, I think you're gonna have like a super good duo to the tour and like for other tours as well. Those connections, that's one of the nice things about the team tours, like they stay. You're gonna end up like building with Matthew and like multiple opportunities on the future probably if you do well with this tour.
It's funny, I had been working with him on other things like the Rising Stars tour and things like that before this, and I was joking with him. I was like, I'm gonna start messaging people and being like, yo, you should draft us together, like we'll be a great duo. And then it happened. I didn't message Keo about it, but it happened. So it's been fun so far.
How's Keo been as a manager? I bet that's fun.
Keo hasn't really been around very much.
Oh really? Oh man.
No, he told us he would be busy. He said at the beginning of the week before he got our lineups in, he was like, yeah, this week's probably going to be a busy one. So I'm sure he'll be great. When he has been around, he's been helpful in testing, offering people games and stuff. I'm sure he'll be good. It's just been a busy week.
Yeah, it happens. He's a great dude. It's very fun to be around.
Before we move on, because we do need to move on, I'm gonna call out Diamond's Realm. Last NUCL, almost a year ago, I predicted against Diamond's Realm, and he got very upset with me and ha-ha'd a bunch of my posts. Do it again, bitch. I'm voting for Brick. Bring it on, man.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah. I think we're all voting Fallarbor 10 Fossils to win this week, though. Sorry, Brick.
Hey, we have 1-0 right now.
Yeah, I mean, congrats. You won Sir Wings versus Eladin, which I think was a 50-50. But we'll see if that continues. We're hopping into the Dittos versus the Rabias. Wow. Just my first glance, I cannot tell you who's going to win this week at all. Or even who I would... Why is E-Turn in DPP? What?
That's hype.
Is that real?
Yeah, it's real. It's written in the stars. Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't doubt E-Turn's good at it. He's good at just about everything, though.
I don't doubt it, but I did not expect it when I clicked on this roster.
Me either.
What the fuck? double RBY makes sense from the Maris and Chungler team. The Toxin Boost team can't risk them not picking RBY. And they decided to slot in Welcome Guest. We'll see if he can bring it up. I feel like Jensen Dale versus Lustful Ice is Hydrogen Bomb versus Coughing Baby, but you know, we'll see how that goes.
Who knows? I'm not going to underestimate Lustful Ice in any sense. They're really good at UU, EU, ZU, but I'm definitely a lot more experienced in NU at the moment. But we'll see how it goes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think
If
it's a
I
weak
were the
hype.
Cramorabias, I would 100% have slotted Marys on the RBY too. Don't have a single doubt about it. Although it would steal us from like probably the most hyped RBY game of the whole season. It's man, I would have chose to split the series instead of like maybe winning, maybe losing.
Do we rate Bughouse in DPP? I assume we do.
Yeah. Bughouse is good. But I don't know about Spell. Like Spell is another name that is coming from like being banned, but like
Spell is one of my favorite users on the website. But you know,
yeah, that's a fact. I'm not lying.
it's not. We have no idea. We'll see how that goes. Devin versus Ishtar and Oros seems fine. Fallarbor versus Kushalos. Toother versus Django is so cool. I think they originally had Toother versus Big Tony, but then they like changed Danny and Toother so that they had the SV
SCL
grudge
game
match.
that never happened.
Yeah, Toother versus Django, which is hype as fuck. I'm excited for that game. And that's like
there's some hype SV matchups. Big fan.
This is gonna be like I think this is a true 50-50 in both of the SV games. Like, I'm excited for them. I would say that this weekend's in a tie, if not a slight favor for. No, just a tie, because I feel like RBY, the Rabias have a leg up, but in GSC and DPP, I think that the Dittos do. So probably a tie somewhere in there.
Be tough. There's a lot of
I'd agree with that.
talent here. That's fair.
Yeah. Not much else to say. I mean, like this is gonna be a bunch of hype matchups. So, last matchups we've got the Pablo-Chiens versus the Real Steel Migos. Okay, so I was. Oh my god, my dog.
Who is Toshi Melonhead?
I don't know. Everyone's saying this matchup is choiced.
He's a guy named Toshi Melonhead.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
He was a
Because
strong.
all the other names are like, oh my god, great names, and then Toshi Melonhead.
Tashi Melonhead was a strong consideration for my TPP World Cup roster. We made semis. But Tashi Melonhead was a strong consideration. Seems like a really excited, motivated person, willing to put in a lot of work. Unfortunately, did not make the roster. We had too strong of a roster, but definitely seems like at least very motivated in the DPP sphere. So
That's more than good enough to me.
yeah, I mean,
was just curious, especially because usually the Watashi's teams are like all like his friends and people that we already know, so that's why the surprise most likely.
Yeah, definitely just like a motivated newcomer. I think that it makes a lot of sense on a lineup that again spent 50k before the auction, and like went for a bunch of high level friends, picking up Gondra and ACR1 and Ima and Real FE. So it makes sense that you have to end up with a few 3Ks, and they ended up getting Tashi Melonhead. I think it'll be fine. Probably picks up a few wins in DPP, and then that's that. But we are joined by bum-ass tier leader E-Turn and scheduling terrorist Danny. I mean, upstanding citizen Danny. Sorry, my fault.
All I gotta say is go Limber Dittos. And have y'all already reviewed that game?
We
that match?
We did review that matchup. This is the last in the set.
But
Every
but
single
here-
person
But you
picked
to
Big
know-
Tony.
Danny, we can.
It's a tie or like
There are way too many people
Whatever.
in this call, so it's just gonna be Danny talking.
I did not pick Big Tony, by the way. I lean towards the Dittos for that matchup personally. But...
Yeah. But Danny, if you want to talk a little bit about your matchups, feel free.
About the matchups or the draft?
Oh, matchups. We already went over your draft. I mean, you got Bughouse and Oathkeeper, so what more
So
can
we
be
have the
said?
best draft. Hey!
We need to kill each other.
Matchups wise, I'm not gonna predict my game. I think Toother versus Django is definitely a highlight. They both have a lot to prove after not the best SEO showings. But I have faith in the Frenchman beating the Englishman. So everything else is very interesting. I'm very interested in knowing the thought process behind the Cramorabias lineup choices. There were some things that I did not expect. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much because obviously I'm going to be very biased. But I think we have a pretty good shot here.
Well, we just need E-Turn to
Can you shut
unmute.
the fuck up?
God. Just
Good
need E-Turn
joke,
to
good mate. Great
unmute,
joke, man.
and give his side. Why is E-Turn in DPP? Can you answer that, E-Turn? Just crickets. Crickets. Got it. All right.
Very insightful. Very insightful.
Yeah, and gone.
Selling
All right.
DPP.
And there we go.
Yeah, E-Turn in DPP. I'm really mad that you guys both put Bughouse and E-Turn in DPP and didn't match them up against each other. It pisses me off a bit.
Well, we went DPP 1, so any discrepancies were on their side.
How-
Additionally, it's worth noting that before the matchups were made, Django tried to run from Toother and then was coerced back into fighting Toother.
Yeah,
So-
we did see that was fixed. I wasn't gonna say that Django ran, but he did run. But this is I predicted that this is gonna be a tie. I think that you guys are gonna tie the week. I did give slight favor to the Dittos because I think your DPP plus GSC is stronger. But you guys probably are slightly less favored in RBY, but I think you guys make up for it in the other slots. But we're gonna hop back over to the Real Steel versus Pablos. Shengineer, you got any thoughts on your lineup this week and your matchups? Obviously, we already were spoiled a little bit. Turtle Doggo did defeat Lax and SS, so already starting up 1-0.
I think, well, first of all, I have great faith in Lucas. I think he's going to stomp. I think, yeah, we'll just see what happens. That's all I'll say there. As for my own match, people have been saying this is a very interesting matchup because I'm as like a historically very strong ADVNU player, whereas I'm kind of a more up and coming. Like I won the Glacial tour that just happened, so it's like recent success versus like all-time GOAT. So, but I don't know if I'm as like played the tier since Glacial was kicked out. So, we'll see like what kind of team they build / bring. I think that's going to be an interesting question.
I talked to Ima a lot, and I feel like his building was already inclined towards building without Glacial before Glacial was even banned. So I think he might have a leg up on you here just a little bit. Change some sets, change some stuff, but he might not.
Well, see, there's a difference between building without using Glacial and building without a Glacial in the meta. So
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say next. Was that like I know that he really thought that Arbok was not very good for a little bit. I think he might have changed on that. But we were talking about it, and he was like, "I don't think Arbok's very good," and I was like, "I don't know. It's coming up, you know." But I talked with him a lot about the tier, especially leading to the Glacial vote. Because we were both like waffling on what we were gonna end up doing, and we ended up canceling each other's vote out because I voted do not ban and he voted ban. So like, yeah, fun. I'm looking forward to that game. I'm not gonna predict it in the call, but I think you got your work cut out for you, Shen.
True. I mean, my team's ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think y'all will go 1-1 in SV. Sun Moon is kind of close, but I think Gary might.
It
win.
isn't.
I think
High
Watashi
level
beats
factor.
Medars.
It isn't close.
I think Hubris beats Toshi Melonhead. I think I'm gonna predict against Shen to give him a boost.
All right. All right.
And then I think Blazing Dark wins, Real FV wins, and I cannot predict against a guy named Butt Gallon. So
True. Well, then you're predicting Pablo-Chiens. You're predicting a Pablo-Chiens win, then, huh?
I guess so. That was not intended, but yeah.
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 Unfortunately, I'm agree with Brick. Not necessarily on the order because I as like differently I'm betting against Butt Gallon because I believe Narwhal was triced. But honestly, like strong spots, there are supposed to be strong spots on both Cramorabias first engineer, which are good, are simply not on pair with Garai and Watashi. So that's end up like pending a lot for the Pablos in this week because two of those best slots are even better for the Pablos.
I think
that's a fair take.
Yeah, I think the Real Steel have their work cut out for them. But I mean, if they get some key wins, I'm talking like both of the ADVs win, which is entirely possible. Baidi is again in ADV NU finals for Grand Slam. He played some strong players. He just beat Hasup, right? Like he's been playing some strong players. I think if both of the ADVs win, I think if Leo Perry upsets Real FV, which is entirely possible. I think that if they have those 3 wins and potentially one more, like maybe an SV, you're guaranteed at least a tie then, or actually, sorry, a win if you win both of the SVs and then those 3. So like,
we just win games and they win the league.
Yes, of course. But I'm saying that like there are some slots that it's not as dire as we would like to make it out to be. I think that there are a lot of slots here that like genuinely have a lot of value and can possibly bring home a win against probably one of the stronger opponents in this tour. So it'll be interesting to see.
I agree with your line of thought. I think like the out for them most, of course, every single matchup can go either single way. That's most in the end of the day. But double ADV, DPP, they already won an SS, and especially the Lucas slot, they can like put the situation to be on a tie and then like having games to steal the week. That's very, very likely, or I wouldn't say likely, but very real, very
possible.
On the realms of possibility. That's how Chen said earlier.
Yeah. But that is week 1 predictions for NUCL. We're gonna go down the list, so we can start with Bernardo. Any final thoughts that you'd like to offer to the viewers for this week of NUCL? Anything you want to say?
First of all, thank you for watching us. It's always a pleasure to talk about NU with my friends. Sorry for my very long ass monologues, but I really enjoyed this tier. I really enjoyed those people, so I have a lot of things to talk about them, and that's all. Thank you very much.
All right, Brick. Anything you've got to say?
Just want to thank all you guys for welcoming me. This is my first appearance here, and I'm obviously very new to the whole community and stuff, and I love it, and I've been having a great time. I hope to do more of these in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Danny, I know you just joined us and we're about to, leave, but...
Wait, did y'all predict us to win or lose?
I predicted a tie.
I predicted a tie.
Okay.
It's whatever result, probably a tie.
Go Dittos. Here's to a great season. I think y'all are underrating the Oathkeeper Bughouse core. I think it's super shice.
Well, maybe you should have put Oathkeeper in the fucking lineup then, huh?
Look,
I would have rated you high. I would have given you a win. It's a tie right now. It would have been a win if Oathkeeper was in the lineup. But unfortunately, Oathkeeper is not in the lineup.
Look, I'll explain a little bit with the few moments that I have. Devin, he's a OG, and he needed an opportunity to get back into the flow of flexing. And so for that reason, this week 1, we wanted to experiment a bit because it is the first week. So we'll see how it shakes out.
I think it all comes down to Pokeslice CTE.
That's one of the worst excuses I ever heard. Like last PO, Devin was starting for me on RS, not like he's not playing RS in a while.
Yeah.
Don't care. Go Dittos.
Go Dittos, but put Oathkeeper in the lineup for my boy. Jensen, you got any GSC insights to drop on us at the end here?
I have no big or compelling insights. I just want to say I'm really excited for the season. I'm really excited to get the nut back up going for NUCL 3. And here's to everyone having as fantastic of a season as me, Danny, and the Ditto lovers are going to have. So
That's a fact.
Damn.
stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Damn, loyalty. Look at that. All right, Lesson 3, man. What you got?
Yeah, man, I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad to be on the nut again. I'm excited to see these going again. It's a lot of fun. Really excited for this tour. It's my favorite tour of the year. I love the whole flex format. It's a lot of fun. Excited to be on Real Steel. I had a goal of being the most expensive bench player, and it didn't happen, and I'm sad. But yeah, we got a good team. We got great vibes. Lots of activity. I think we're gonna go far. I'm excited about it.
Hell yeah. All right, you're up, Shen.
All I gotta say is, all you other managers, all the other teams, we're coming for you. You know, watch your back. Real Steel is not to be messed with.
The Real Steel Migos. All right.
Stop calling us that.
Just so
But
everybody.
in all seriousness, it's a pleasure to be managing again, and I wish my team the best of luck, and I'll do my best to see us make our way to the playoffs and hopefully all the way.
Yeah. Just so everybody knows, in this call especially, the manager DM. I make manager DMs for everybody on Smogon to send in their self buys and their lineups and stuff. And the Shen one is still called the Flamingo Amigos because I forgot their name when I was making the lineup, and I was just like, all right, it's close enough. But I will never fix it. He will be the Flamingo Amigos for life. I'm still sad about the band breaking up. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Shout out Big Fat Mantis, who yelled at me for like 2 weeks straight about how we had to have NU content. And how he was only going to sign up if we made NU content. So he definitely was a motivator for me. A huge shout out to Less Than 3 Man for making the incredible graphics that you're viewing on your screen right now. That is the GOAT. There are none before him. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you next time on The Nut. This was Gold Mason and the crew, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.